Okay, we're going to start today's classroom session. Hi everybody, my name is Noah. I'm one of the educators with Shortcuts, and today's classroom session is actually a follow-up on last week's session, which was on Shortcuts Marketing Plus. You may have previously have known this as Shortcuts Marketing Elite or Shortcuts Elite Marketing, and what it is, it's the more advanced version of our traditional marketing platform, which is available in the cloud. In this case, we actually have a standalone web page, which is Shortcuts Marketing, which allows you to do more advanced features, such as be more in control of the graphics that you're using, the placement of the rows and the columns on the templates that you're sending out. And you also have the flexibility to choose when the campaigns are sending out, set it on a certain schedule, set it on a certain timetable, as well as more flexible with the demographics, which are all things that aren't necessarily available in standard Shortcuts marketing. So to build on that, let's actually jump into the presentation. Of course, we are recording this session, so if you have to leave early, that's okay. We are going to send everybody a copy of this link a little bit later today. If you have any questions, please save them for the end. On the right side of your GoToWebinar, there should be a little row, a little toolbar that allows you to ask questions or to put in a message on the chat screen. I'll check that at the end. So let's jump into it. So we're going to look at how to work with a targeted campaign. We're also going to learn about working with demographics. So I mentioned it a little bit last week. Demographics and targeted campaigns are ways to sort of filter out specific clients. So if you're searching for clients that visited you on a certain date range, or if you're looking for clients that spend a certain amount on certain products, we can actually send very specific emails to just those clients. And of course, how to read your Shortcuts Marketing Plus reports. So what exactly are you looking for when you're running through the reports? So let's jump into it. So let's say you have a very specific group of people that you want to reach with an email campaign. So you can find your clients based around things like what services have they purchased in the past. So for example, let's say you want customers that have gotten haircuts at your location, but have never gotten a color service. So that's one type of campaign you can set up. Or let's say you're having a sale on Paul Mitchell or Redken products for the month, and you just want to let your top customers that traditionally purchase those products know that you're running a special. Again, you can set a certain targeted group for that, a certain demographic. So in Shortcuts, in the actual point of sale system, Shortcuts Fusion, which is what we're going to be looking at, you have a way to filter that out. You can create a client list and upload this client list into Shortcuts Marketing Plus so that whenever you send out your campaign, it's to that specific group of people. So I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm actually going to show you how to save that list, how to upload it, and how to select it when you're sending out a campaign. So in the actual Shortcuts point of sale, the first thing you'll want to do is run a marketing query. Now, this is under Tools, Marketing. If you do not see this, then you may not have security access to this. So if you're a manager, you're a receptionist, and perhaps the owner of your salon asked you to learn more about targeted campaigns, and as you're following along, you're missing this, then you might want to ask them if they could elevate your permission. So when you go to the marketing button, you're going to see two rows, a top row and a middle row. The top row tells Shortcuts, I am interested in customers that have purchased certain products or certain services. The middle row is actually designed to exclude certain customers. So again, in the example I give is you want customers that have purchased a haircut, you would choose haircut services on your top row. But in the middle row, you would choose color services because you're telling Shortcuts, yes, they purchased a haircut, but they have never purchased a color service. And then once you press the compute button at the bottom of the screen, Shortcuts will generate a list. So you can save this list. Shortcuts will save it as a text file. And this text file, the CSV, is what you can upload into Shortcuts Marketing Plus. So once you're in Shortcuts Marketing Plus, you're going to go to the Admin tab. And again, I will show you this in real time. So if you're furiously writing down notes or if you're reviewing this part of the video, just remember I'm going to show you in real time the steps that you take. But in Shortcuts Marketing Plus, you'll go to the Admin tab. And then on the left side, you'll have a member database, which shows you approximately how many customers are in your system. So then you can press Import Members. And then Shortcuts Marketing Plus will say, okay, please choose the file. Please tell me which file you just saved with a specific group of customers. So we've talked about the steps, but now let's actually show you the steps. So we're going to jump out for a moment. And we're going to go into the Shortcuts point of sale. So most of you are familiar with this page. So on the right side, we're going to Tools, Marketing. So again, in this scenario, I'm looking for customers that have purchased certain services. So that's the top row. Or certain products. Again, the top row. The middle row, services or products that they have never purchased. Now, if you notice, on the bottom row, there is a start date and an end date. So I can literally say customers that got a haircut, no color service, just this year, or the last 2 years, and I can set my range. On the bottom left, I can filter it to even more specific clients. So let's press the Clients button on the bottom left, just so you see what other options we have. So if you're sending out a very specific email campaign, who are some of these customers you're trying to reach? So when you press Clients, you can filter it based on demographics in their client card. So for example, if Kendrick is going away on vacation or he's going to college, will not be available to cut hair for the next semester. So you want to let all of Kendrick's preferred customers know that Kendrick's not going to be available for a few months. Let's have you schedule with somebody else. Or if you have an employee that's going on maternity leave and you just want to let the preferred customers know this employee is going to be out for a few months, again, this is how you can tell Shortcuts, give me a list of all of Kendrick's or whoever it is preferred customers. If you have customers who perhaps don't visit you very often because there's multiple shops in the area, you can say, I want to reach out to customers that visit me less than 1 or 2 times from a certain date range. Or I want to reach out to my top spending clients when it comes to retail and let them know I'm running a promotion so that they can take advantage of it. So I can say any customer that spent more than, let's say, $1,000 in retail over the past couple of years, I want to let them know. So you can see what sorts of additional demographics we have. If you're trying to reach clients that haven't returned, perhaps in the last year or in the last 6 months, you can set a date range. But for today's example, we're going to choose specific services. So on the top row, I'm going to choose, and in this case, this is a male or a men's salon, a barber shop. So I only have traditional male services. So I'll choose all of these services. I'm looking for customers that have purchased at least one of these services. But in the middle row, I'm going to filter out and say, yes, they've purchased a haircut before, but they've never purchased a beard service. So maybe they don't trust my staff with handling their beards. So top row, all my customers that have gotten at least one of these haircut services, but have never gotten a beard service. So I'm going to run a beard promotion for the rest of this month. So at the bottom of the screen, I can press Compute. And Shortcuts will say, okay, I'm only going to generate a list of customers if they've opted in to receive marketing. So in this way, you don't have to worry about reaching out to customers that don't want to be contacted. So let me close this. Okay, so now Shortcuts has generated a list of customers. On the right side, if this specific list of customers, if I want to eliminate those that do not have an email, I can click the checkbox, exclude no email. So really my list of 900 clients is actually a list of 82 clients that have emails that have opted in to receive marketing. So this is why it's very important. The very first time a customer comes in, try to opt them into marketing, try to get that email. And even at the point of sale, just as they're checking out, you do have the ability to capture an email as an email receipt. So just keep that in mind. So this is my list of customers, and I can save this list. So I can call this haircuts, no beard. That's going to be the name of my list. And I'm going to browse, and I'll save it to the desktop with a million other documents that I have. So I'll save it. Now this list that I just saved will actually work in the standard Shortcuts marketing available in the cloud for everybody, or in my case, I can use it on Shortcuts Marketing Plus, the elite version. So this list will work in both platforms. So now let's actually jump into there. So I'm going to my web browser. So I'm in Shortcuts Marketing Plus, and I'm going to the admin tab. So this is where I upload my list. On the left side, I have my member database, and I'm going to add a specific group of members. So I'm going to import them because it's more than one person at a time. So Shortcuts will ask me, please choose my file. And these are the formats that are supported: CSV, text, or tab. So I'll choose my file. And remember, I saved it on the desktop. So I'll go down to my haircuts, no beard list. And as you can see, I save a million things on my desktop. Here we are. Haircuts, no beard, text. So that's the file. And now Shortcuts will ask me, okay, I notice this list of customers has certain columns. So which information do you want to map? So salutation, Mr., Mrs., Doctor, whatever it is, maybe you don't have to map those. So the Shortcuts Marketing Plus will say, okay, their first name is their given name. Family name is their last name. Now, do you want to record their physical address, their city, their state, their zip code, birthday, anything else? If so, you can use this pull-down menu, and you can map it to certain fields that are available in Shortcuts Marketing Plus. But for the majority of your clients, really it's just first name, last name, and perhaps email, and that's it. So once I press Import Update Now, that list of 80 plus customers is going into my Shortcuts Marketing Plus. So the program will give me a few moments while it's calculating, and then it uploads that list. Now, if I don't want to wait, I can click this little checkbox and put in my email. And when this list is done uploading, Shortcuts Marketing Plus will email me and say, okay, your list is ready to be used. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll just tell it to email me. So while I'm waiting for it to finish, I can actually start my campaign. So I'll go to my campaign manager. I'll choose a template. And in this case, let me go with, let's see, which one will work? Which one will work? Perhaps I'll start with a thank you referral. And then I'll change the details. So I'll use this first one. Normally I press edit, but for the sake of today's lesson, I'm going to just use this template. So the subject is going to be thank you for being a loyal customer. And I can choose my own logo, so I can press the row that says choose logo. And on the right side, I can browse and search through the Shortcuts existing logos or upload my own logo. Well, I've already uploaded my salon logo. So there it is. And I can center it. Remember, your edit tools are on the right side. So thank you. And the email will automatically put in the customer's name, their first name. So normally, this template is used for referring customers. So you're sending a thank you message to those that do the referrals. On the right side, I'm going to delete the message. Instead, perhaps I want to say, thank you for being a loyal customer to Angel Salon. We would like to offer you this special promotion for the month of September. And then I would continue to put in those details. So underneath, I would decide, okay, I'm going to change the value of the gift voucher. I don't have any beard service that's $20. I'm going to offer the customer $10 off any beard service. And if you notice, this email puts in a very specific person's name. So it's not like the person that receives this can just forward it to their friends or family. And then when do I want this coupon to expire or this promotion to expire? Every template that has some sort of voucher, some sort of coupon associated with it, always has some standard legalese. So in this case, I'm going to say valid until the end of September 2020. So that is my new deadline. And I'm going to say can be used against beard services only. So I can even put that in the voucher. So it's $10 off beard services. And I can delete the word gift voucher. So that's my promotion. Now, if I had a web page, a URL, I can paste in my online booking link here. And if I had social media, I can paste my social media links on the bottom row. So let's pretend I did that. I'll save and continue. So I've put together an email. Now I need to tell Shortcuts, when am I sending this out? Well, I'm going to send this out tomorrow, Wednesday the 9th. At what time? Studies have shown that email campaigns between 9 and 10 in the morning are often the ones that are opened more frequently by customers. If they're in school, this is the student's first chance to check their mail. If the person's at work, again, this is usually about break time where they get a chance to check their messages. So always think about sending campaigns 9 or 10 in the morning. So it says, who's going to receive this? Well, this is going to be demographic criteria. I have a very specific list of people that should receive this, not just everybody. So I'll save and continue. And I'll add my scenarios. So this is how you use demographics in Shortcuts Marketing Plus. You press the plus button to add a scenario. Now in my case, I have a list of customers that I have uploaded. So from the pull-down menu, Shortcuts gives me a number of options. The one I always advise is begin with Shortcut Software Administration, USA Demographics. The USA Demographics is sort of the master list of all demographics. What's the specific category? In this case, it's demographics. What's the specific demographic? I have a bunch to choose from, but at the very top, manual import list. This is the one I want to use because I have a list saved from Shortcuts Fusion. So which is the file name? So I would choose, based on these checkboxes, the specific list. Now the list that I uploaded is called the beard or the haircut no beard list. So I can tell that it hasn't been uploaded yet. So Shortcuts Marketing Plus has not sent me an email to say the list is ready to use. So normally I would just click the checkbox on that particular list. So it might take marketing a minute or two more to finish that. But let's work backwards. So let's say you were sending a campaign to other types of customers. So remember, one of those is if I have an employee that's going out on maternity or holiday or going back to school, and I want to let all of those preferred customers know, I would use a different demographic. So in this case, the employee from client's last visit or first visit or the preferred. And we'll scroll down a little bit. So you can see all of the potential one. So client's preferred employee name, alias. And I would put the name of the employee that I want to reach to. So it would only be, in this case, Mary's preferred customers, or vice versa, the customers that preferred Mary as the employee. So that's how you set that demographic. And that's just one potential demographic. If you want to set it based on the customer's first visit date, so perhaps it's your 1-year anniversary and anybody that happened to visit you on that day should get an email. Or client's last visit date. Let's say a customer hasn't visited you since last year, or between a date range of last year. So you can say is between, we'll say between today and January of 2019. So any customer whose last visit was, and I'll set it not to today, but I'll set it to the 1st of, we'll go June 2020. Okay, so from January 19th through June the 1st, if that was the customer's last visit date and they have not returned, then these are the customers I want to reach. So these are how you set demographics. Then I would go through the steps, promotion codes if I had a coupon to send out. I can set status, send myself a test message. So these are things I did on last week's classroom session. So I'm just focusing on demographics right now, so you're a little bit more familiar with it. So let's jump back to the presentation. So you should now know how to export a list, how to upload a list, how to set up a campaign, and tell shortcuts. Use demographics to target these specific people. So these are the steps I've already done. I created my template. I added a subject line. I chose the day and the time for my email, in this case tomorrow at 9, and I set a trigger. In my demographics, I chose my specific demographic. Is it my targeted list? Is it a specific employee? Is it a certain date range? So I would set all of those details. So I've already demoed it live, so let's continue. So how do you find out how successful your campaigns were? Where do you go to look at the information? So in Shortcuts Marketing Plus, that's called the Campaign Manager. So you will have a list of every campaign you have ever sent out, whether it's a one-time email campaign, whether it's a happy birthday ongoing email campaign. Shortcuts Marketing Plus just gives you a list of all of those campaigns. And on that list, you will see how many messages have been sent, how many were opened by clients, how many actually clicked on those links and read the messages. So how many clicks did you get? How many of those campaigns bounced back, i.e., you have a bad email in your system? How many customers opted out of receiving future campaigns? How many shared the links in social media? And you can even get a full report when you press full summary, so even more detailed information. Now, just so you know, the averages, if you can get 30% engagement or more, that's considered very, very good by email standards. Most email campaigns, the customers are actually lucky if they get anywhere close to 30%. So don't be dissuaded if you see 25%, 27% open rate. That's actually very good with regards to email marketing. So the campaign summary, it'll have the name of the campaign. When did you start it? How long have you been running it? And you can run a report so that you can see as much specific information as available with regards to tracking the success of this campaign. So you'll actually see what were the peak times where customers actually opened the messages, clicked your links, visited your social media, read the promotions. So you'll actually know when would be the best time for your specific customers to receive a message. Now, I mentioned that 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning works for the majority of our customers. But let's say you're in a big city, you have a lot of customers that work odd hours and they prefer to receive messages, or they tend to open messages at night. So then you can change it from 9 a.m. to perhaps 9 p.m. And that's when they're likely to read your message. So you get all sorts of information on who opened them, what was the success rate, how many bounced out. So it's a complete breakdown of everything that's happening with your email campaigns. Did anybody share this campaign on social media? So you do have your links for that. Did they give you your likes or any comments, things like that on Facebook or Twitter? So remember, you can include your company webpage, you can include your online booking page, your social media links, and all of this can be tracked and followed up with by your Shortcuts Marketing Plus. Now, of course, the big one is your return on investment. So if you go to reports and statistics, again, you'll see all of the campaigns you've ever sent out, but the ones that had a coupon, the ones where you attached a promotion to, you'll actually see what was your return on investment. So when a customer actually used the discount in the point of sale, when it was applied by one of your employees, Shortcuts will actually count who was the person, how many services did they have, how much did they spend on retail, how much did they spend in total during this visit, and then compare that to how much they received from their discount, from their promotion, from their coupon. So then Shortcuts is going to say, okay, based on all of the campaigns you sent out this year, this month, whatever your date range is, this is how successful this promotion was. So yes, the customers received $10 off a service, 10% off a service, whatever you choose, but they ended up spending this much during their visit, which is historically much more than the value of the coupon. So that's how you get your return on investment. And that's how Shortcuts is able to track it both in the salon as well as in Marketing Plus. So we'll go ahead and look at it again. And we're going into Shortcuts Marketing, and I'll go back to the home screen. Now, if I wanted to look at my reports, it's reports and statistics. But if I wanted to look at campaigns in progress, I would go to Campaign Manager. And if I press Search History at the bottom of the screen, this is where Shortcuts shows me which messages have I sent, what's the open rate, what's the bounce back, etc., etc. So here's the one I was working on. Thank you for being a loyal customer. Of course, this is all an example. I'm not actually going to activate this campaign, or I'll reach all of the Shortcuts customers in our database. Well, let's go back to the home screen. But if I just want to look at my reports, it's reports and statistics at the bottom of the screen. And this is where Shortcuts would give me a list of every campaign I've ever activated. But again, since I'm just using this as an example, I don't necessarily have any campaigns to show you. But this is where you would get your return on investment and other information. Okay, let's jump back to the presentation. So it's very easy to get to. It's very easy to work with, target certain customers, reach certain demographics. It really couldn't be any easier. And again, that's whether you're using Marketing or Marketing Plus. It's a very simple platform to use. So you should now know how to create a targeted campaign, how to search for those customers in Shortcuts, how to tell Shortcuts exactly who you're looking for, how to upload that list, and how to set the demographics so that you only send a message to those list of customers. Plus, how to access your reports so you know, okay, how successful is this campaign? Is there anything I should tweak? before I set it up for next year. So maybe I'll look at 1 year's worth of happy birthday emails, and then I'll decide maybe I should change the value of the coupon. So review your reports. Now, Shortcuts Marketing Plus, Shortcuts Marketing Elite exists separately from the cloud. If you're interested in it, it's actually an add-on service from Shortcuts. So you would have to sign up for it. The good news is, for the rest of 2020, any customer that's interested in it can be signed up for free. And if you decide to keep it, then you only have to start paying after January 2021. So the setup is normally, I believe, $99. But again, to set up to get your account up and running, it's free from now until the end of the year. So just keep that in mind if you want to try it out. If you're very concerned with how your information is branded, you really want to have control over the graphics, the messaging, then there's no better platform than Shortcuts Marketing Elite, Shortcuts Marketing Plus. Give our customer success team a call and just let them know you're interested in signing up. And chances are myself or one of the other educators will call you back and help you set up your system. So we're going to open up the floor for questions. We might not have any. I don't think we had any the last two times. So I'll double check the chat window. And if anybody has a question, now's your chance. And I'll check chat. I'll check questions. Okay, now if you're watching this after the fact, you can always reach out to us, both our customer care team, our education team, and just ask us that way. So if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on our company website a little bit later, go ahead and reach out to us. We will answer those questions. So again, our customer success team, customer care USA at shortcuts.net, give us a call or even ask us on social media. So we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook at Shortcuts USA. Thank you all for attending, and I hope to see you on the next classroom session. Take care, everybody.